What's up, guys? Brendan from Market Makers. Bit of an urgent video today. Guys, if you don't watch the Pro Trades videos and you want to understand why crypto's crashing, watch my Pro Trades videos. The other markets are very weak. They're very fragile. They're overinflated with money. And when they crash, my friends, I've explained this to a lot of my crypto friends because I'm old and I've been trading for 23 years now. The crypto market will get pulled down with it. It's the same investors in both sides, okay? Now, we've hit some very major milestones that we need to talk about, okay? First of all, Bitcoin is in an official crash, the price declination. It is over 20%. That makes it a crash. A correction is more than 10%, under 20%. So Bitcoin is in a crash. The other markets are not in a crash, but guys, Bitcoin, crypto, speculative asset class. You have to understand how the big banks, I worked at an investment bank for 13 years, you have to understand how the big banks view these asset classes. Money will get yanked from speculative asset classes first because it's viewed as high risk, okay? So the other markets aren't even dumping that hard today. They're really flat, to be honest with you, but they've already dumped, okay? And crypto is catching up. So let's go ahead and dive into this TA and see where we can find support, see where we can move up from. Guys, let's start off with Wyckoff, my friends. Wyckoff, we are in the distribution box. We almost fell through the box. I told you this is so crucial to hold this box, okay? If you can hold this box, you can make new all-time highs in this box. If you go to markdown phase, if you go to phase 4 Wyckoff, you are in markdown. And if you're in markdown, you're accumulating in this box. We don't know where this box will be, but you can accumulate. And if the market conditions, the market sentiment, if there's buyers, you can move back up and go to reaccumulation, and you can go to a new distribution box and make new all-time highs. This would be the third leg of the bull run, okay? That's what this would be. Can we do that? It's much safer just to stay in the distribution box, okay? Because this is the second leg of the bull run. You can see we're following this Wyckoff price cycle to the T twice already, okay? So this isn't a guess. We've already done it once, your 3-box setup, accumulation, markup, reaccumulation, distribution, markdown, accumulation, markup, reaccumulation, distribution. We need to stay in this box. If we go to markdown, this previous markdown phase here, my friends, was 55%, okay? 55% from peak to trough. From 65K roughly down to 28,790 was a 55% markdown. And at this point right now, if you were going to do this and go 55%, if you're just going to repeat the exact same number, which I'm not saying you will, but you would be looking at 30,000 plus Bitcoin, 30,000, 31,000 Bitcoin, okay? Now, we have the advantage of having support in this box. And again, this range is the low 50s, 53K, down to 39, 40K, okay? So if we can hold this range, you can accumulate and you can reaccumulate if the market conditions allow it, and you can go to a new distribution box, your 3 Darvis box setup, a cycle that's been repeated twice already, okay? Patterns tend to repeat themselves. You can also, in a bearish scenario, just continue to go into markdown, skip the accumulation phase, make a series of lower highs, and the market's done, okay? And your accumulation box will be much, much lower, back down in this area where your other accumulation box was, and you see this on our bigger patterns, my friends. So again, here's our Darvis box in the weekly time frame. We are trading in a bullish Navarro pattern, tracking 100% to the pattern. You have your previous all-time high, 64,855. Current all-time high, 69,127. You guys can see the Fibonacci pitchfork neckline. And what do you see? We have been struggling to get above it. I told you about this, and we finally got rejected, and we're resting, literally resting on the Darvis box. The Darvis box encapsulates volatility of the price. It is essentially a support and resistance range, okay? And we are literally resting on it right now. Now, again, this is still okay. We need to hold this line and get above the heart line. If you do not get above the heart line, you will eventually fall out of this box, okay? Because you're going to keep getting rejected from a key point and fall out of the box. Now, one thing to note, I've told you this many times now, if you fall out of the box and you start trading in this quadrant, look how tight that range is with that resistance of the Darvis box, and you come down into this quadrant, you're printing a right shoulder, a head, and a left shoulder. The measured move from that head and shoulders. If you broke a neckline, which doesn't exist yet, but if you print a right shoulder and you have a neckline, the measured move would be around 10,000, 11,000, okay, Bitcoin. Where's the PRZ on this pattern, guys? The pattern reversal zone, where price goes back up like this, 10,871, okay? Market symmetry. Remember these numbers. You can come back to these videos. They will be very, very accurate at the end of the day. Guys, the pattern that is dropping the market, nobody else has given you this pattern. They're all confused. They don't know what's happening. We've been trading this pattern. There's maniacs in my room that still have shorts open from 68K when we started trading this November 10th. 2 days after we shorted the Dow and we saw what the macro markets were doing, they were dumping. We knew Bitcoin and everything else would follow. You have the black swan has officially dropped the market into a crash. You are officially in a crash, over 20% price declination, okay? So that's where you're at. The macro markets are not in a crash yet. You're at 25.57% peak to trough off this pattern, guys. Massive returns. If you want to learn how to trade patterns, guys, if you want to learn how to trade with Fibonacci tools, with volatility tools, with trend tools, no other room on Discord is doing what we do. Nobody's providing you TA like this channel is, okay? This isn't complex once you understand the mechanics of how it works, and you can make money whether the market's descending or ascending. Check out the link in the video description to our Discord. 6,000 people there. Click it. You'll find out why, my friends. So where are we? On the daily, we're still holding our daily Darvas box. As you can see, we fell right through the fib support as well. Where could we reverse at? We've been over this. The white swan pattern right here at point D could kick in with the 200 moving average and send you back up, okay? And that is down at like 47.2, 47.3 in that range. But right now, you're still holding in your box. Again, you're at the bottom echelon of this box. You need to start moving up and break out, okay? And this is all tied into the Wyckoff price cycle. And again, this pattern goes all the way down with the extensions, because look at the size of this pattern. Massive pattern, okay? This black swan's a massive pattern. This is a massive, almost a 6-month white swan pattern, okay? The swans are very, very powerful patterns. And this PRZ down here, if you did come down to this for a bullish reversal, again, is down, the JP Morgan extension, I call it, you're down at like 31, 32K, okay? So want to avoid that at all costs. Let's go ahead and go into the smaller time frames. Guys, last video, 2 days ago, I gave you the volatility compression pattern. I told you we don't want it to break to the downside. And sure enough, it broke to the downside. You have your compression at 10.5%, 6.25%, down to 3.25%, and you broke down. This is an 8-hour time frame. You broke to the downside. We're still holding our Darvas box. We fell through the first Darvas box. We had so many nice little bullish indicators of an inverse head and shoulders highlighted here in yellow. We had a compression pattern that was trending bullish until it was not, and it broke to the downside. So this is a very powerful pattern. As you can see, it dumped Bitcoin, okay? So let's look at this on a 4-hour time frame. Again, you can see the same metrics here. Where are we finding support? Why is price bouncing up right here? Well, you can explain that with different things, right? You can explain it as a buy zone, a demand zone, but you can also draw it, okay? I can show you why we're getting support here, because we have what is called a green dragon. We have a green dragon pattern right here. As you can see, that is the PRZ of this pattern, and it's sending price back up. Where could it send price back up to? These patterns are always strongest when you have confluences to go with them, like market sentiment, people actually buying, okay? So this pattern could easily underperform if we just have too many strong bearish confluences going on in the market. Right now, this pattern has got you up to nowhere, not even the 236. You've basically just done a soft reversal from the PRZ. You're holding your Darvas box, but potentially, most commonly retraced to fib is the 618. In these market conditions, you're not getting to the 618. Why? You have the 200 moving average here in the 4-hour time frame. You got to get through all this resistance and the Darvas resistance, the different fib retracement levels. I could see us bouncing back up, maybe hitting the top of this box if we're lucky, re-entering the box, getting to the 382 or the 0.5. But that seems to be the destination at best for Bitcoin right now, because the other marketplaces are too bearish, my friends. They have to move up for Bitcoin to really move up. Bitcoin will follow or lead these other markets in a negative fashion when they dump, okay? So let's go ahead and look at this on the 1 hour time frame. Guys, I told you, I think I was the only person on YouTube, maybe there's other people, when everybody had Bitcoin in a falling wedge, squishing up the chart, showing, oh, look, bullish pattern, bullish pattern. I told you I had us in a descending triangle. We posted this in the room. One of my admin partner posted this in the room as a potential trade setup, along we have the volatility trade setup, covering both sides in case of the directional change. And of course, Bitcoin fell below the 200 moving average, had a pivot point and shot down, hit our price target at 54.1 on the dollar and just fell completely through it, all the way down to below 51.8, guys. It's kind of mental. Below 51.8. So where else can we go from here? Well, like I said, we're finding support. The market has to settle. All the indicators are going to be blown out. So volatility is super elevated. TSV, or time segmented volume, is super bearish, or on balance volume is bearish. Shanday's bearish. Everything's going to be blown out because it's a dump. That's why everything's going to be blown out, guys. But the larger time frames can give you better signals as to where you're going. The 1 hour time frame, you're just going to be floating in la-la land like this, okay? So we always look at our macro patterns to see where we're at. All right, guys, I think I've rambled enough for you. Pro Trades video is coming out next. If you want to learn how to trade the other markets, or if you just want market updates in the other markets, watch the next video. Please smash the like button if you like this content. I think it's very original for what you get on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Helps us out in the algorithm, my friends. Hope to see you in a room. And if you want a new trading platform, check out BitGet, my friends. BitGet, no VPN, no KYC. It's where I trade. It's where a lot of the room trades. You would really enjoy the exchange. $630 in bonuses. Link in the video description. Guys, have a fantastic Friday. Despite the market, it is the weekend coming up, my friends. For all of you that work the Monday to Fridays, have a fantastic weekend with your friends and family. Talk soon.